What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore, Furious Nation, right here on YouTube.com. We are live 10 seconds into the video. I'm Nick Fiore, the founder of Furious Nation. And yes, you see that right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm back.
This guy, Adam Carl. Yes, he is back here on the channel. In fact, he is now officially my official Raw co-host for the Raw reviews right here on the channel. It is so good to have you back, Adam Carl. How are we feeling?
It's been a wild one. It's been challenging. I've got so much work. Got exams to do. But I'm gonna finish it all. I'm pushing it through. But very excited to be back on your channel. It's been a while.
Yeah,
What I love doing best.
been a dynamic duo on this channel since day one when it started almost 4 years ago. And it's just it's not the same with him not here. And it's so good to have him back, at least for the Raw stuff. But it's so good to have you back, Adam. We are going to talk about Monday Night Raw last night. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the post-Raw, the Raw after the King and Queen of the Ring, which took place in Saudi this past Saturday. Probably, most likely going to review that PLE tonight, actually. I know I said Saturday or Sunday, but with the Memorial Day party on Sunday 2 days ago, and then Saturday stuff going on, but and then that kind of stuff. But look out for that tonight. It should be most likely than not, and expect somebody else for that show with me tonight. I'm going to contact him after this show. He should be able to do this tonight. I'm going to contact him now. But anyways, we're talking about Monday Night Raw. And that's someone for tonight, King and Queen of the Ring PLE review later on tonight. It's someone who's been on the channel before. But let's talk about Monday Night Raw, though. This is a Monday Night Raw review. Last night's Monday Night Raw, which took place in Savannah, Georgia. And before actually we get started, follow me on X, Twitter, at FioreNick579. Follow Adam Carl on X as well. Follow me on Instagram at Nicholas Fiore 2014. You can follow Adam Carl on Instagram as well and on Facebook. And also follow me on Facebook at Nicholas_Fiore_31.
My at on Twitter and Instagram, my at is at Adam Carl 2005. To remind you all.
So you heard that correctly. At Adam Carl 2005. Go give Adam a follow. Don't be afraid to follow him. He's a cool guy. He's a good guy. Knows his shit on wrestling. Don't hesitate to do that. And also hit the like on this video while you're at it as well. And if you haven't done so already, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe to Furious Nation on YouTube and hit the bell for all notifications so you're notified whenever channels pop up from the channel on the channel feed onto YouTube. So don't forget to hit the bell for notifications when you subscribe to Furious Nation as well, which I think, if I'm correct, I think I have 150 subscribers, or I think that I should almost 150. I have 148 subscribers, so I'd love to get at least 150 to 175 subscribers by the end of this year. So please subscribe to Furious Nation if you haven't done so already. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Last night from Savannah, Georgia. The Raw after King and Queen of the Ring, which I thought was a good PLE. This show last night, usually Raw is better with Triple H. Now that Triple H is in charge and is good with Triple H in charge. Last night's Raw, and you're going to have your good shows and you're going to have your duds. You're going to have your good apples, bad apples, but I think last night was a bad apple.
I mean, it could have been better. It's not like the worst show in the world, but there was storylines advancements.
Oh yeah, especially the Damian Priest storyline going into Clash of the Castle with his world title defense against Drew McIntyre in Glasgow. So that should be very good. They're teasing the slow babyface turn of Damian Priest, which is going to be a great thing to see. And Raw needs a babyface champion, and I think Priest can fit that babyface role pretty well for himself. He did in NXT in Black and Gold.
Yeah.
No reason why you can't do it on the main roster. But they have that going on. They have Gunther's King of the Ring in his
Chad Gable and his
Chad Gable.
pretty much he's on the brink of madness.
Yes, and recruiting, pretty much going to recruit the Creeds and replace Akira Tozawa and Otis and Maxine Dupree with the diamond mine of Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers. So that's going to be inevitable.
Yeah.
And then Braun Breaker and him breaking Ricochet in half, breaking Ilya Dragunov in half. I think it's going to lead to Braun Breaker being traded to SmackDown in the end for AJ Styles and reuniting the Wolf Dogs over on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Especially when Braun Breaker last week destroyed the NXT level up jobber Kale Dixon, broke him in half with 3 spears, which I love that segment last week.
He broke him in half with a chair. He nearly killed him.
Yeah, Concerto ran on the steps with the chair. But yeah, they have some storylines going on. It's like they have it's not like they have nothing, but last night was just the dud. And I know it's a post PLE RAW, and I know they'll bounce back and pick it up next week.
I won't call it a dud per se. I would say it could have been better.
Yeah.
But I would say the good outweighed the bad.
Yeah. And the crowd didn't really help much in Savannah, Georgia, either. The crowd was kind of dead last night. If this was in Atlanta, that would be bad. That would be different, in my opinion, because they're always a great crowd down south in Atlanta. Something like that. But let's start with the start of the show, Monday Night Raw. We had King Gunther being announced. Yes, Gunther defeated Randy Orton at King and Queen of the Ring to become the 2024 King of the Ring, though some controversy where Randy Orton got the shoulder up. So I think we're going to get another Orton and Gunther match sometime down the line before SummerSlam. Maybe, if not Clash of the Castle, maybe Money in the Bank, but I think Clash would be the better bet.
They didn't call him King they didn't change his name to King Gunther, though. They called him the King General.
Oh, good. I thought they were going to change his name to King Gunther like they did King Sheamus back then, but thank God they didn't. I mean, it's better with Gunther, but even King Gunther is fine, but I prefer Gunther, to be honest.
Well, at least he's not going to have the crown wearing the scepter as his gimmick.
And the cape.
We can at least be relieved of that.
Yeah, that's something Vince McMahon would do. Triple H is not going to do any of that. The same thing when Nia Jax won the Queen of the Ring. They didn't give her some royal British accent like they did Zelina Vega. I don't want to remind you of that.
That would be ridiculous.
Remember Queen Zelina? That was so fucking bad. They had her beat Toni Storm in the first round. Then she beat Piper Niven in the finals. And it was so fucking bad after that.
You need to change people's accents just because they won a king or Queen of the Ring tournament.
I mean, it worked with like somebody like King Booker, but it didn't work with Zelina Vega at all. And she was a loser.
You don't change who Gunther is. You don't change who Nia Jax is.
Nope. There's
just
a saying.
Who they are.
Exactly. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And I'm glad they didn't change Gunther's and Nia Jax's name to Queen Nia and King Gunther. So I'm glad they didn't do that. And I'm glad Triple H is taking the route where the winners of the Kings and Queen of the Rings get world title matches at SummerSlam. They used to do that back in the day, like 2002 when Brock Lesnar won. I love it.
It's a very old school approach.
Yes.
They used to do that in the 90s.
Yeah. Triple H, Paul Levesque is very of the old school mindset, like importing from the old school into the new school, and it works. It comes a very long way. It's like the little things that matter, like the littlest of attention to detail. It's the small things that make a big impact.
Absolutely.
And this is one of them. Like, you win the King of the Ring in the summer, usually you're the number one contender for the world championship against that world champion at SummerSlam. Just look at Brock in 2002. Look at others that have won the King of the Ring and how it catapulted their careers. You know?
Triple H.
Yes, Triple H in 1997. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes, Stone Cold Steve Austin in 1996, and he cut that 316 speech, which was one of the greatest promos ever in history.
Kurt Angle.
Yes, Kurt Angle. Edge. Ken Shamrock in 1998 when he beat The Rock in Pittsburgh at the 98 King of the Ring.
Bret Hart had the first and only two-time King of the Ring winner.
Yeah, and Owen Hart too.
The King of Hearts. God rest his soul.
Yeah, in fact, they're having an Owen Hart Cup and for Dynamite in the coming weeks, leading into All In this August in Wembley. So that should be pretty good. But yeah, glad Gunther won. He was actually my pick to win this tournament for the King of the Ring this year, and he's going to be wrestling for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam.
It fits him really well. Wendy the King in the Ring, basically, it fits him like a glove.
And
he's the ring general. We all know this. He's the ring general. Everyone knows how good he is, how dominant he is. How about you show him? How about he shows that dominance as a king?
Exactly, and he just lost the IC title, so you're not going to have him lose twice in this tournament. So it was the right choice to have him win.
Yeah.
So, but Ludwig Kaiser
builds up his credibility more.
Absolutely, and I expect Gunther to be world champion at SummerSlam.
I think he will be.
Whether he beats Priest or McIntyre, whoever the world champion is, they're not beating Gunther. There's no way. And he's a big Triple H guy, and Triple H is not going to have Gunther lose his first title match. Look what he's done with the NXT UK title and the IC title. You think Gunther wouldn't do just as good?
He had a 2-year title reign
with the World Heavyweight title.
He had 2-year title reigns with both belts each.
Yeah. It's you don't think he's going to do the same exact thing with the World Heavyweight Championship, people? Come on.
He'd probably be World Heavyweight Champion for 3 years.
Probably.
I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'll be fine with that. Because it's fantastic.
So people better get used to that. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see on Monday Night Raw. So we get Ludwig Kaiser. He's inside the ring. He's introducing Gunther as the winner of the King of the Ring. Love me some Ludwig Kaiser, how he announces the Ring General Gunther.
Yeah.
Ludwig Kaiser, underrated.
Yeah, I'd say he's the better mic worker of the two. I mean, Gunther is the better wrestler, but Ludwig is the better talker. Not that Gunther cannot cut good promos.
Right.
He's a very good promo, but I'd say his strength is, the ring.
Yeah.
And how he makes you believe. Ludwig Kaiser basically is the better talker of the two. Exactly. He does a good job at it.
Yeah. But we get Ludwig Kaiser introducing Gunther to the ring as him winning the King of the Ring. Gunther walks to the ring and he's holding the King crown. He showered with the "You Suck" chants. We got Chad Gable last week with the "You Suck" chants. Now Gunther with the "You Suck" chants.
Incredible.
So we get Gunther laughing at the "You Suck" chants, and then it develops into a "We Want Randy" chant, wanting Randy. Gunther with a big smile on his face. He reminds the crowd that he beat Randy Orton at King and Queen of the Ring, and he says he's the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther puts himself over while subtly throwing jabs at world champion Damian Priest. Gunther notes that the championship is making prestige since the current champion took a shortcut to the title, with Damian Priest cashing in his Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 40 on night 2 against Drew McIntyre. World champion Priest then interrupts with Finn Balor and JD McChicken, JD McNuggets, JD McBig Mac, JD McDonough, Mr. Bobblehead.
JD McBig Head. Yeah. JD McDonough has a big head.
Yes.
Well,
so they come out. So they come out. Priest is laughing at Gunther's insinuation that Priest took a shortcut. Priest then says Gunther didn't actually beat Randy Orton. Gunther's rolling his eyes at this, and Priest recalls that he earned the Money in the Bank briefcase. Says Gunther didn't earn his win against Randy Orton. Gunther then says he is only concerned with the facts. He says the fact is Priest is still champion. Says Gunther will be challenging him for the championship. And then Drew McIntyre interrupts, and we got CM Punk chants thrown at Drew McIntyre, man. So McIntyre says, "Go ahead." What?
One of the things he hates in the world.
You don't like CM Punk, man. You don't like CM Punk. You'll stop at Mindy.
Fuels his anger.
But the crowd's chanting CM Punk at Drew McIntyre. McIntyre then says that he needs to respond to this before he addresses the issue in the ring. He then goes on to say that Punk is only relevant because of him. He says, then McIntyre tells Gunther that he's going to be the champion in less than 3 weeks. Gunther then ends up leaving the ring and he wants no part of whatever's going on. Priest then tells McIntyre that he isn't looking past him. He just knows how this ends. Well, yeah, Priest, it ends with McIntyre beating you for the world title in Glasgow, Scotland.
Exactly.
McIntyre then says he's going to win his 4th world title at the Clash of the Castle. Priest says he wants a fight for reasons. And then Braun Strowman's music hits. He comes out with he's growing the long hair again like he did in late 2016. Black tank tops, black pants, white belt. So when Strowman comes out, McIntyre ducks out of the ring. Strowman then gets in Priest's face. They have a stare down. Priest then backs away and tells McDonough to handle Braun Strowman as they have an upcoming next match after the break. Thoughts on this segment and Braun Strowman?
I'd say this segment, advanced, so many storylines. I thought, the way Drew McIntyre is a really good talker. He's fucking excellent. Damian Priest, he's looking more like he's more face-ish in the last few months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gunther, really cutting, another good promo, talking about his King of the Ring win. He's the king. He's gonna be a champion.
Yeah.
I like how they set up Braun Strowman to be, next in line for a title shot. Braun Strowman, really good for a man of his size. He can put on good matches if needed. I'd say I'd like so many things basically. You set up pay-per-view, you set up Gunther, you set up Strowman as a challenger for whoever the champion is.
Yeah.
I'd say well done. I'd say everybody looked good.
Yeah, I think Priest does lose the title at Clash to Drew McIntyre in this home country in Glasgow, Scotland. Maybe Money in the Bank we get McIntyre and Strowman. Strowman's not going to win, and then we get to McIntyre and Gunther at SummerSlam, where Gunther beats Drew McIntyre. Because I don't think CM Punk's going to be cleared before SummerSlam. Maybe he is, but I could be wrong. Maybe we get Drew and Punk not at SummerSlam, but at maybe Bash in Berlin.
I mean, I'd say with Gunther winning getting the title shot at SummerSlam, there's a possibility that Damian Priest could retain at the Clash.
He could. Maybe Punk cost Drew the title at Clash of the Castle. Maybe get Punk and Drew at SummerSlam. Maybe Punk is cleared in time. And looking at Punk as of late on Raw, he looks fine, and it looks like he's about to be cleared soon, which is going to be good for Monday Night Raw because they could use him with the injury bug as of late. So I could see possibly Punk screwing Drew at Clash of the Castle and Priest holding onto that championship until SummerSlam where he drops it to Gunther instead of Drew McIntyre losing it to Gunther. I could see that. Or maybe how Priest loses to Gunther at SummerSlam, maybe because of like Finn Balor too. There's also that factor where Priest is teasing splitting away from the Judgment Day and being kicked out. There's that tease as well. There's been cracks in the Judgment Day as of late too, so that's another thing to think about. But I thought this opening segment was pretty decent. It forwarded some stuff, forwarded some stories and some possibilities, left some questions, which is a good thing. You want questions instead of no questions of where a possible scenario could go, which possibilities are endless, which I appreciate. And Triple H wants you coming back for more. And it's like, what's this guy gonna do when there's one thing Triple H is known for is teasing the fans.
Yeah.
He doesn't want you to know the unexpected. He doesn't want you to know the obvious. So he'll throw a curveball at you here and there.
Unpredictability has been a part of his DNA,
and it's a good unpredictability as well, not a bad one. So we get the first match of the show: Braun Strowman versus JD McChicken. I know you enjoyed this last night, bro.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. Probably one of the most entertaining parts of the show.
We had McDonough working on Strowman's leg. We had JD McDonough on the outside. We had Strowman doing the Strowman Express, running around, running fast. He knocked down JD McDonough into the ring post. Braun Strowman, he runs fast with a Strowman Express. So then, after the Strowman knocks Balor off the apron, Carlito then tries to run down to the ring. Strowman grabs Carlito by the hair afro, and Balor tries
Braun
to get
Strowman is so
involved.
strong.
Yeah,
He's so
he grabs
strong.
Carlito by the afro hair, and then he knocks Balor off.
Better with his arm.
Tries to headbutt Strowman. He runs the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl runs right into a power slam. 1, 2, 3. Strowman wins. Strowman gets beat down by Carlito and Balor. Strowman then he clears the ring. He pushes Balor and Carlito away, swats him away. McDonough then tries to hit Strowman in the back with the chair. Didn't even phase Braun Strowman. Strowman turns around and
it doesn't work. What are you doing?
And McDonough has the face of, oh shit, what the hell did I just do? And then Strowman turns around, he slaps the chair right out of McDonough's hands. McDonough, Balor, and Carlito are headed for the hills, and Strowman's in hot pursuit, and he's limping, but he's in hot pursuit. And that was the first match of the show. Yeah, I know you enjoyed Braun Strowman running fast.
Yeah, he looks as good as he's ever been. I will say he looks as good as he's ever been, especially after coming off a neck injury.
Yeah,
a pretty bad neck injury, and he moves around as if he was never injured. Man, looks as better as he's ever been.
And he's been through so much, man, over the past months, past year, especially with Bray Wyatt sadly passing last year, and he looks in good shape right now. And though I still think he should be on SmackDown with the Wyatt 6, I think.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah. All right. So actually, this perfect time for a little break here. It's about 22 minutes into the show. So, Adam Carl gets back here. My thoughts, I think that this was fine for what it was. It gives Strowman an easy win. McDonough didn't look bad here at all. I don't know where this leads to, but maybe it leads to Balor Strowman at Clash or Money in the Bank. Maybe Balor gets the winner. Maybe it leads to a Raw match. But if they don't make the PLE, that's not a bad thing either, because it makes Raw important when you have not everyone on the show and makes the weekly shows important. But that's just me.
I think what could happen, I think we will see an eventual Strowman versus Balor match eventually.
We could.
I think we're going to see it, at Clash or on Clash of the Castle or Raw. Strowman can go over and you put him for a world title match.
He could maybe save for Raw.
Because after that, what we saw in the main event, with the backstage and the main event, this thing is not over just yet.
Yeah, and maybe Balor wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah, plus you give Strowman, you give him a storyline after his return, give him something big. You give the Judgment Day something big.
It could, yeah.
Everybody is involved in something.
Yes. So anything could happen with this part of the show, but we then go backstage to the new Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan. She's gloating over her victory against Becky Lynch at King and Queen of the Ring. Yes, Liv Morgan's the new Women's World Champion coming out of King and Queen of the Ring. So she's now the Women's World Champion. We'll talk about her in the show because Mommy is not going to be too happy with Dominik Mysterio, especially towards the end. But you got Liv Morgan backstage bragging about her victory over Becky Lynch as she is defending her women's world title against Becky Lynch at a rematch for the championship in the main event of Raw last night inside a steel cage. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. We then go to Damian Priest finding damn. So, except a little sneeze there. We then get Damian Priest finding Finn Balor and Carlito backstage. Priest is upset at Balor and Carlito because they failed in taking out Braun Strowman. Carlito then tells Damian Priest that McDonough is still being chased by Strowman. Priest then tells Balor to handle the situation. So there's teases that Priest is being kicked out of Judgment Day. So it's there. Like I said. So Priest is going to eventually break out on his own, man. And I think he gets replaced in Judgment Day by Carlito. A Puerto Rican for a Puerto Rican. Or a Caribbean, or a Cabana boy, I should say, in Carlito. He looks more like he looks a lot like he looked like 20 years ago in 2004 with his look right now. He got rid of the goatee mustache. He's clean shaven. He's got the apple.
He's got this on his chin.
Yep, he looks cool.
Small beard on his chin.
He looks cool, bro. He looks cool. Especially with his, and he also has his apple as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If only if he doesn't spit in the face of Rey Mysterio, who he fought last night. That was one of the matches last night. Carlito versus Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
But talk about that in a little bit. We then get the next upcoming match of the show. Ilya Dragunov versus Ricochet in a rematch from the Raw King of the Ring first round match. And that match was a banger. That match. So we get a rematch with these two last night. Ricochet is in the trainer's room. He has kinesio tape around his ribs. And he's all acting tough and a little heelish and saying he wants Ilya Dragunov. And they wrestle in the next upcoming match. 1 week after Ricochet was speared into oblivion by Braun Breaker last week on Raw. I know you're smiling about Ricochet.
Yeah, getting pummeled. Getting broken. Beaten.
But he don't deserve it.
Yes, he does.
But
of course
how?
He does.
But how? He's the one and only. Yeah, against Braun Breaker, sure thing.
Sure thing. Good luck.
Though I've told you before, I know you rip into Ricochet for with Samantha Irvin.
Well, later on.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
We have important business to discuss.
Yes, that is correct. So, speaking of whom, Ricochet and Ilya Dragunov is the next match. We have Ricochet immediately out of the gate landing a drop kick, which looked nice, very nice. Ricochet, after this though, he's favoring his ribs. Dragunov then lights Ricochet up with some chops. The story here was Ricochet's ribs throughout the match. We got Dragunov hitting some German suplexes. The German suplex, then he doesn't let go. He goes for a second and a third. We then get Ricochet landing a few strikes. Itsugiri from Ricochet. Knee tremble by Dragunov. We got Ricochet landing a dive in this match as well. Ricochet then tries another dive, but Dragunov catches him and he drives Ricochet into the ring apron, which looked nasty. Ricochet then lands PK on the apron. Triangle moonsault from Ricochet. Then Ricochet tries a 450. Dragunov moves out of the way. Ricochet, however, lands on his feet. Ricochet and Dragunov are then trading some strikes with each other. Lariat by Dragunov. Then Dragunov hits the Constantine special for a near fall. It's that swinging rope clothesline, the signature move of Ilya Dragunov. Love that move, man. Love that move. Dragunov is so good, man. I'm very happy he's on Monday Night Raw. And he's doing very well for himself on Raw. Not even on Raw that long, and he's doing very well.
Yeah.
So
he's getting really over. He's very over.
Yeah, he didn't even need to win the King of the Ring, and he's just fine. Just got started, and he's okay. We then get machine gun chops from Dragunov, powerbomb by Dragunov. Dragunov then dives off the top into a dropkick right by Ricochet. Then Ricochet hits the recoil, near fall. Ricochet then goes up the top rope. Dragunov, however, cuts him off. Ricochet then knocks Dragunov off the top rope. Shooting star press, beautiful shooting star press from Ricochet. And then out of nowhere, Braun Breaker gets right in the ring, spears Ricochet right in half.
Out of nowhere.
The bell. Yeah, out of nowhere. Referee calls for disqualification. Match is thrown out. Breaker lays waste to Ricochet. Then Breaker lays waste to Dragunov after Dragunov tried to hit a few chops, but Breaker destroys Dragunov anyway with a spear. Referees and officials then hit the ring. Then the Raw general manager Adam Pearce then gets into Braun Breaker's face as he's all pissed off at him, just like he was last week for destroying Kale Dixon. I think we're definitely getting a Ricochet Braun Breaker match in the future down the line. That's for sure. And also Ilya Dragunov involved. I like this. I like this a lot. So
they're basically booking Braun Breaker. I love how they're doing, Braun Breaker. I love how they're giving him the 2016 Braun Strowman route. They're going around the 2016 Strowman.
Just destroying everything in his path. Booking him like a fucking like a beast. I like it.
Yeah, he's been booked in squash matches, week after week after week. He's been booked there for months. But he's getting tired of that. He wants competition. I want competition. Like Strowman used to say.
Yes.
I want competition. Like, I want to be challenged.
Yeah.
I don't want easy challenges. I don't want easy challenges. I want to be tested.
This is too easy for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how they're going that route with Braun Breaker. And he's been given, people, that could give him a run for his money now.
Hell yeah.
Just like they did with Strowman back then, when, he began squash matches, and then, they gave him Sami Zayn as his first.
And a really good last man standing match, like it was 2017, like 7 years ago.
Yeah, 7 years ago. It was January of 2017, before the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then they gave him Roman Reigns, and they had an excellent series
of
matches.
That was Fastlane in 2017. Then post WrestleMania 33 that year, where Strowman lifted the ambulance that Roman was in and yelled, "I'm not finished with you."
Yeah, they're going that route with Braun Breaker.
They are,
and it's making him look like a threat.
Yeah, Dylan Ketchum in the chat says, "Hey guys," he actually sends two messages in the live chat. He says, "Hi guys, how's it going?" Dylan, we're doing pretty fine here. Hope you had a good day yesterday. I know it rained heavy here in New York yesterday. It was miserable. Beautiful days on Saturday and Sunday, Memorial Day weekend, but miserable yesterday as it's rained. But we're doing fine. He also says, if Braun Breaker doesn't turn into Goldberg 2.0, then we're good. Well, fact is, Braun Breaker's obviously the much better wrestler than Bill Goldberg is Braun Breaker. That's obvious. But, I mean, I could see where you're coming from, where it's like all he does is spear. But fact is, Braun is a lot more talented than Bill, and at least Braun is not an unsafe worker, and he doesn't injure people on purpose, like Goldberg did to Bret Hart. But Braun Breaker, I'm enjoying what they're doing with him. I think it's been pretty good these past couple of weeks. We're definitely getting a Ricochet Braun Breaker match that's going to be good. Same thing with Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov, that's going to be good as well. And I do think this eventually leads to Adam Pearce being so fed up with Braun Breaker that he doesn't fire him, he just trades him. They trade Braun Breaker to SmackDown for somebody else, from SmackDown moving over to Raw in exchange for Braun Breaker.
I would say you book a segment. I would say next week, book a segment where Braun Breaker is beating up Adam Pearce. He lays his hands on him. And that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah.
And maybe he spears Adam Pearce, and Pearce is so fed up and pissed off that he's like, you know what? I'm not going to fire Breaker. That's too easy. SmackDown, you're getting Braun Breaker. He's your problem now. And they trade him for somebody like a AJ Styles, who actually teased last SmackDown with Adam Pearce. Not Adam Pearce. Nick Aldis with SmackDown last week with AJ Styles, saying he wants another shot at Cody for the WWE title, but he was denied.
Yeah.
So I really do think I really think it's going to be and WrestleVotes did tweet out not long ago that there would be a trade or two coming out of this year's draft. I think Breaker's getting traded to SmackDown. He should have never left SmackDown this year with the draft in the first place. Now, and Baron Corbin's on SmackDown too. He's going to go nowheres on his own. Reunite the Wolf Dogs on SmackDown. They could use some tag teams over there, especially if possibly DIY breakup and we get Ciampa and Gargano feuding on SmackDown like their big rivalry in NXT Black and Gold. Remember that?
You could see it.
Yeah. So if DIY is going to be broken up on SmackDown, might as well get the Wolf Dogs back together on SmackDown. Maybe they take the tag titles on the WWE tag team titles on. So maybe they take them off of A-Town Down Under at SummerSlam. They hold those titles for quite a while. Then maybe they lose them to somebody else in Vegas next year at WrestleMania 41. Maybe to like someone like an Axiom and Nathan Frazier, who the Wolf Dogs had history with from Stand and Deliver last month in Philadelphia, WrestleMania 40 weekend. That could be. And for AJ Styles, there's nothing for him on SmackDown. Move him to Raw. Maybe with Priest being kicked out of Judgment Day, maybe you have a new Judgment Day led by not Finn Balor but AJ Styles.
Yeah.
You have the new Judgment Day being AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, JD McDonough, Dominik Mysterio, and Carlito. And they pick Priest and Rhea out. Thoughts?
Yeah. I think they're they're doing I think that's the route they're going for. Well, I think actually they're going to be kicking Priest out. He's the only guy that's going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Him and Rhea.
I agree.
Yeah. I think Balor, I think he's the one stays in the group, but basically as the male leader. It's basically the male leader.
Yeah. But I mean, if AJ comes to Raw in a trade for Braun Breaker, maybe AJ's the leader. Maybe Balor's like a co-leader or AJ's right-hand man.
Maybe.
Or maybe at least AJ versus Balor at a WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, Liv Morgan did say she will take everything from Rhea Ripley.
Yes, took Rhea's shoulder, and Rhea had to vacate the title due to injury. A few weeks after WrestleMania 40, she took Rhea's championship at King Queen of the Ring. Now she's taking Rhea's Rhea's mate, and Dominik Mysterio. And Rhea is not going to be too happy when she finds out when she comes back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we get the next match. Authors of Pain with the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and Paul Ellering. They faced the Creed brothers with Ivy Nile. This was a squash. Akam and Razor win. I think with this squash, it's basically getting rid of the rest of this babyface Creeds and giving them a new lease on life when they do join Chad Gable. I think that's what this was. Thoughts?
Yeah.
I mean, Aikman, it was
I would say the match, though, is too short. I will say
this was a squash.
They could have given them. I would have given them this. I could have given this at least 5 more minutes.
Yeah, I didn't. Why have this be a squash?
Honestly, I would have given this at least maybe 5-6 more minutes. Make the Creeds look good.
And the Creeds can go in the ring.
They
can wrestle.
I mean, I get what they're going for. The Creeds, they're losing, and then Chad Gable will reach out to them to fight, and help them fight their killer instinct.
Yeah,
I would say that they could have done this way better. They could have at least have the Creeds, get on offense, get in their zone.
Yeah, and, I didn't appreciate them.
They could have the Authors of Pain still win. I'd say the match that was too short. It could have been better.
Yeah, and the Creeds can wrestle, and you could have like you said, could have given them at least 5 more minutes with what we saw last night. This was the filler, basically, and it's like both teams can work, so no reason why they couldn't have given them more time. And there's one thing that WWE, especially on the Raw side, needs to work on is time management. Especially with the ending of Raw, man. Holy shit. We'll talk about that because we got a lot to say on that.
Yeah.
But because USA Network missed the belt on a big part that ended with Raw last night. But moving on. We got a backstage skit with Rey Mysterio and the LWO and Carlito. Rey Mysterio is facing Carlito in a match. Rey Mysterio says that Carlito will regret crossing the LWO for turning his back on them after coming out of WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
Leaving the floor to you. I know you got something to say about Rey Mysterio.
Revenge.
Well,
Revenge.
Carlito was wrong for turning on Rey. Rey wasn't the
No,
problem.
he wasn't wrong. He was justified. He was correct.
Well, Rey Mysterio
Rey Mysterio Rey Mysterio is a hypocrite.
He's no fraud.
He talks about betrayals and no. It's his fault.
Well, Batista turned on him. Dominik Mysterio, his son, turned on him, and Santos Escobar and Carlito turned on him as well.
He was beating Eddie Guerrero in God rest his soul, Eddie Guerrero. He was beating Eddie Guerrero in every single match they had, and then he gets turned on.
And Eddie turned on him.
He cost Batista the World Heavyweight Championship. Facts. He cost him the World Heavyweight Championship.
No, shame on Batista.
No, good on Batista. Chavo Guerrero turned on him because Rey was using the Guerrero name for his benefit. How bad you have to be if Chavo Guerrero is turning on you? And then we have Eddie's son, Fax.
Rey Mysterio's son.
Shut up. Shut up. That is a lie. We have Eddie's. He chose Edge, 50-year-old Edge, over his son's best friend, or his best friend's son, rather. The guy who he known for 25 years on Earth. And then he gets what he deserves in Cardiff.
No. He Rey was wrongfully turned on, and
he deserves it. He deserved it.
And Rey tried to catch a break from his son.
No, he does not deserve a break. He does not deserve it. He deserves all the beating in the world. He deserves to be traumatized. Then he steals Santos Escobar's opportunity at becoming United States champion. Yes, facts. He stole his opportunity of being United States champion, and he wins the title for himself. Despite the fact that Santos beat him for a number one contenders match for that same belt.
And then Carlito.
And then Carlito, the man that was saving Rey Mysterio every step of the way for Puerto Rico and Backlash, and then he saved him at Fastlane, was his tag partner. He chooses Dragon Lee and Andrade over him for a WrestleMania match, despite Carlito being a part of the LWO for over a year.
And Rey choosing Carlito over Santos, and then Rey choosing Dragon Lee and Andrade over the guy who Rey chose over Santos Escobar.
He cost Carlito his WrestleMania match. Yeah, I can see why everybody's turning on you, Rey.
Rey's not the problem, though.
Yes, he is. He stabs people in the back.
And now we got both Mysterios on Raw again.
Mysterios.
Rey just can't have enough of his son.
That's not his son.
It says Mysterio.
Tell me where he is. Tell me who's his son again.
It's Rey Mysterio's son, Dominik.
I don't see it. Is he shorter?
He's got the Mysterio name.
Why is he taller than him? Why does he have a mullet, a goatee, and he's taller than him? And he's hanging around with Mamacitas. Alright. Do Mysterios do that? No.
He's no, you'd probably say not very Mysterio. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Mysterios would do that. That's Dominik.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. But anyways, moving on. We get Sheamus. When he's got an in-ring segment, he's complaining about Ludwig Kaiser. He then delivers a message for Kaiser. Sheamus says he's back. Says when he gets his hands on Kaiser, Kaiser appears on the Tron and dumps on Sheamus for losing in the King of the Ring tournament. Sheamus then leaves the ring to go find Ludwig Kaiser. The camera follows. Kaiser attacks Sheamus from behind. Kaiser and Sheamus then fight out to the stage and are eventually separated by referees and officials. So it looks like we have a little mini feud with Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a fresh feud.
Yeah, and Kaiser's not bad in the ring, and neither is Sheamus. Sheamus is one of the top good wrestlers, probably one of the best I got on the roster. And happy he's back, by the way. But it could be something pretty good, and I think for the time being, until Sheamus, because I think Chad Gable beats Sami Zayn for the IC title, and I think Chad Gable, when he loses the IC title, I think he loses it to Sheamus.
Yeah.
Because Sheamus has won every title in the WWE except for the Intercontinental Championship to become a Grand Slam champion in WWE. I think when Chad Gable takes the IC title off Sami Zayn, I think eventually Sheamus takes the IC title off Chad Gable. I think that's what they do. And Sheamus, I think, does have a contract coming up at the end of the year probably, but he's not going anywhere. I doubt he goes anywhere. And he's not going to AEW. I doubt it.
I think, but I think basically they added 8 more months into his contract. I think his contract was going to be like this summer.
Probably.
Probably like July or July.
Because he last wrestled before he came back this year. He wrestled in August last year against Edge, which was Edge's last WWE match, and it was on SmackDown in Toronto. This is before Edge went to AEW last year. This was his last WWE match last year. That was the last time Sheamus wrestled there too, before he came back last month.
It was probably going to be up in July or August, but then I am sure they added 8 more months to his contract.
Yeah, probably the end of the year.
So it's probably going to be like after next year's WrestleMania.
Maybe. If not then, maybe December, end of the year. But I do see Sheamus re-signing. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And with Triple H in charge, I don't see why anyone would leave. And Tony Khan has way too many wrestlers in AEW to begin with. You don't need to overbloat the roster even more so by adding Sheamus. And Sheamus there in AEW won't make a lick of a difference. Look what they've done to Okada, Mercedes, Ospreay. Hasn't done shit. But
I agree.
Yeah. We then get a backstage skit with Becky Lynch giving a pep talk to Lyra Valkyria. She says they may have both lost at King and Queen of the Ring, but they will press on. Valkyria then clutches at her ribs, and Lyra also said something to Becky Lynch as well, which was a little telling. If I can find it, Lyra said this to Becky last night during Raw before Becky's cage match. This is what was said. It was said it's not about winning all the time; it's about getting better every time. It was one of the things that Lyra said to Becky Lynch. It was telling. And also, Becky Lynch said to Lyra, "We'll keep winning or learning until it's time to walk away," quote unquote. There is reports that Becky Lynch does have, we might as well just talk about this right now. Becky Lynch, apparently this Saturday, June 1st, is when Becky Lynch's current WWE contract expires and becomes a free agent if she doesn't sign a new deal. There's a lot of people reporting that, like she hasn't re-signed or hasn't re-signed yet, or maybe she goes to AEW. I don't think she does. I don't think she goes anywhere.
I would say she's taking more of a break. I think she's taking a hiatus. I think she signs a new WWE contract, but for bigger money, she deserves it. But she's taking a hiatus. She's not even supposed to be on TV right now. She wasn't even supposed to be on television right now, or the last month or so.
She lost to Rhea Ripley clean for the women's world title at Night 1 WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Lost clean to Rhea Ripley, and after that, Becky was supposed to take a break before coming back, and I believe signed a new deal. But then Rhea Ripley got injured. They had the Battle Royal for the vacant Women's World title, which Becky Lynch won by loss eliminating Liv Morgan a week before, or days before the Night 1 draft this year. And had Rhea not got hurt, and Rhea would have been still Women's World Champion now and would have had a Gunther-like reign, and Becky would have still been at home with their kid, with her daughter. But, so yeah, Rhea getting hurt was not supposed to be. So, again, had Rhea not got hurt, Becky would still be at home right now with their child. But I do think it's more like a break or hiatus and spending some time with their kid before coming back. And her husband Seth Rollins just signed a new deal with WWE. I can't see Becky leaving and going to AEW. I think that would be pretty selfish of her, and she needs to think about her husband. I mean, whatever her decision is, it's her decision, but but fact is, she's not going anywhere. She's pretty much going to sign a new deal with WWE, and WWE's and Triple H are going to give her whatever she wants.
Yeah. I will say this.
She's not going to AEW, and even if she goes to Tony Khan, it's not going to change shit there. Look what they've done to Mercedes Moné.
I will say this. If WWE were willing to offer Mercedes 8 figures, I think they're going to give Becky astronomical wages to make her. I think some people online saying this.
Like some people are saying, Triple H, WWE didn't want to pay Mercedes, didn't want to pay Sasha. First of all, that was Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis in the old administration. That was not Triple H.
If WWE were willing to offer Mercedes that big amount of money, 8 figures, I think they're going to offer Becky Lynch astronomical amounts of money. I think at the end of all of this, I think Becky will be the highest paid woman in wrestling history. She's gonna get the biggest contract of any women's wrestler of all time.
Yeah, they're going to give her whatever she wants. And who's to say Becky Lynch doesn't? And Edge did this in end of 2019. Went to Tony Khan, negotiated how much are you paying me, then went to Vince. And it's like, oh, no, you're not going to AEW. You're coming to WWE in the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble. Who's to say Becky Lynch doesn't pull that and use AEW as leverage just to sign a new deal with WWE? She could.
Yeah.
But I just don't see Becky Lynch leaving unless she wants to wrestle in Japan, which WWE probably won't let her do, and does like Mercedes is doing, betting on herself. But I don't see Becky Lynch doing that and going to All Elite Wrestling and such. I mean, look at what they're doing to Mercedes, and it's like, would Becky Lynch make a lick of a difference there? No, it's all in the booking. Tony Khan has too many wrestlers to begin with and can't book the women's division right there, yet he has a talented women's roster there. Like, look what they've done to Mercedes. No lick of a difference. Becky would be the same thing. So, with that being said, and again, her husband just signed a new deal. Seth Rollins just signed a new deal with WWE. What sense does it make for Becky to leave? She's not going anywhere. They locked in McIntyre. They just re-signed McIntyre. They re-signed Seth, Priest, Balor. Becky Lynch is going to be... Dominik as well. They re-signed Charlotte Bayley. Becky Lynch, folks, is not going anywhere. She's not going to AEW, so please get that out of your heads.
Nobody believes that. I'm very sure of it. Nobody believes
it. And there are going to be some people on X, Rebecca Quinn is All Elite making the graphics. I ignored these people.
They're just engagements. They're basically doing it for engagements. I mean, I get making jokes and all that, but come on. You could be better.
Yeah. Reality is she's staying with WWE, most likely going to retire in WWE, just like her husband. Most likely than not. But we go to next after that, Kairi Sane versus Lyra Valkyria. Dakota Kai also at ringside for Kairi Sane. This was fine for what it was. We got Kairi Sane doing the sliding D. We also get Sane stomping at Lyra on the apron. Lyra gets trapped in the trio woe. Diving double stomp from Kairi Sane. Near fall as Lyra manages to kick out. Lyra then gets a boot up as Sane lands the insane elbow. Kai then tries to get in the ring as Lyra Valkyria then rolls Kairi Sane up for the pin. Lyra Valkyria beats Kairi Sane. I mean, it was fine for what it was. I mean, they're giving Lyra some credible wins because I think she's facing Liv Morgan at Clash of the Castle for the Women's World Championship. That's just me. Kairi Sane, very good wrestler, but I think what this match showed, he should stomping before this sliding B, reminded me a little bit of Kairi Sane on her own, I think, and especially after the match where Io Sky was backstage.
Hang on.
All right. So again, while Adam Carl also takes a little step away, might as well also talk about Lyra and Kairi. I mean, the crowd didn't react much to it. It was okay, but could have been better. Maybe we've gotten a little bit more time, but Lyra gets an easy win over Kairi. We then go backstage.
I would say, I'm gonna say I think this is basically more story driven. If you've seen the show, it was more story driven.
Yeah, I think the show as a whole was kind of story driven.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, of course. It's not necessarily like a bad thing, but it's very, if you see it, it's very noticeable. It was more focused on story. The in-ring action. It basically second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can see that.
I would say what they lacked, in time in the ring, they made up for it, in telling a story and advancing stuff.
I could see where you're coming from, and I can absolutely see where you're coming from, and it does show that. Especially where we got Io Sky in the back, just destroying furniture, destroying the lamps, and she goes on this big rampage. I think they're teasing Split in Damage Control, and the cracks are forming in Damage Control. I think Damage Control is going to be done. I really think they are. I mean, Asuka's hurt. Io Sky at this point, because she is over, she's better off at this point on her own. They can and I know with her speaking Japanese and then the English language, I mean, they can have this stuff like they did for Nakamura, where the English captions as well, the writing. Also, but Io's so over, and I think she really thinks she's better off on her own. The same thing with Kairi Sane. I don't think she really needs Damage Control anymore. Dakota Kai is fine on her own. Plus, it would make the women's division on Raw better when you break up Damage Control, because you got a legit threat to a title on Raw, the Women's World title, in Dakota Kai, also Kairi Sane, and then Io Sky, and then Asuka when she gets back. That's 4 credible women right there. 4 of them. And when Rhea comes back and takes the title from Liv Morgan, imagine a Rhea Ripley versus an Io Sky, or a Kairi Sane, or Asuka, or Dakota Kai. I really think splitting up Damage Control, I think, is the best thing, because Damage Control really isn't going anywheres. And even with them drafted to Raw this year with the draft, they're not really doing much with the group. Just break them up. And they're better off separate anyways. The group's been dead for a while, even before they got drafted to Raw. I mean, just look at Bayley on SmackDown as Women's Champion as well. What do you think? Do you think they break up Damage Control?
I don't necessarily think they're going to break them up, necessarily. I think, though, they're going to go for, more of a aggressive Damage Control. Io, basically, she's lost her women's title. She lost in the Queen of the Ring semifinals. It's not been going her way in the last month or so.
True.
And basically, she wants a more aggressive Damage Control.
Yeah,
maybe. They've been playing around too much. They've been losing too much.
They have. Maybe Io eventually breaks away from Damage Control eventually, but
Yeah, so basically, stop, basically in a way, stop playing around. Gotta make things right.
Yes.
It's no time to mess around.
Yeah. We then get Rey Mysterio versus Carlito, with Rey Mysterio having the LWO at ringside by his side. There was someone that brought this up on social media that Rey Mysterio and Carlito, when they were on SmackDown in late 2004, had a match, and they did not wrestle since in a match one-on-one. Since SmackDown in late 2004. It's a fun little fact, and I did not know this.
It's attention to detail.
Yes, which I appreciate with Triple H. Attention to detail, it's key. I had no idea they fought in a one-on-one match, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Takes back a little bit from 2004-ish, but except on Raw, not on SmackDown. But we have Carlito looking like he was in 04 and 05 with his purple underwear, trunks, and his white boots, and his goatee, his little hair thing on here, and the apple and the afro hairstyle. This was a decent match, I think. We had Carlito landing a superplex, which looked nice. Gets a near fall. Mysterio then ends up knocking Carlito off the top rope, diving senton from Mysterio. Mysterio then follows that up with a springboard moonsault. Carlito then kicks out. Mysterio then tries another dive, but he gets caught by Carlito. Carlito then hits a TKO, which was nice. Mysterio gets he kicks out of it. Mysterio then trips Carlito up in the ropes. Mysterio hits the 619, or he knocks Carlito into a 619 position. Carlito first time avoids it. Mysterio then tries a springboard. He gets drop kicked off out of midair by Carlito. Carlito and Mysterio then fight out on the apron. Mysterio then sends Carlito into the post. Balor then hops the barricade and attacks Dragon Lee. Mysterio then takes out Balor with a diving seated senton off the apron. Mysterio then trips Carlito on the middle ropes again. Mysterio this time hits the 619 on Carlito. Drops the dime on Carlito. 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio beats Carlito. We then get post-match Mysterio then attacking Balor. Mysterio then lays Balor on the commentary desk. Dragon Lee then goes up top. Priest hops the barricade and attacks Mysterio. Priest then destroys Dragon Lee with a razor's edge. Mysterio then drop kicks Priest into the ropes. Mysterio then tries a 619 on Priest, but Priest super kicks him into oblivion. Priest then obliterates Mysterio with the South of Heaven chokeslam. And that was the post-match, also post-Rey Mysterio versus Carlito. So Priest is still in Judgment Day for now. We have Dragon Lee on Monday Night Raw, which we haven't seen. I don't think we've seen him since before the draft.
Is he injured or something?
I hope not. They could use him.
Yeah. It's either that or he has a visa issue. I don't know. We haven't seen him in like a while.
But he was there last night. And we got Rey Mysterio getting the win. Maybe Priest and Mysterio for the time being, but I do think, but yeah, that's just me fantasy thinking. But thought this was decent for what it was. It gets Mysterio an easy win.
Yeah, easy win.
What'd you think of this match?
I would say it's about time they end this feud.
Yeah, the Mysterios have been feuding for what, 2 years?
Yeah, I think it's time to. Yeah, I think it's time to move on from Mysterio and Carlito.
I mean, we had LWO and Legado feud for like felt like almost a year, and people were over it.
I would say, I think they could still get something out
this
of
is why I'm glad
Mysterio
they
and
put him up with the
Carlito.
draft.
I would say they could get something out of Mysterio and Carlito. Really, I mean, they could get something out of them, but just don't have them feud with each other for like too long.
Yeah, I feel like even with LWO and Legado, I'm glad that feud's over. But now LWO feuding with the Judgment Day, I can't bring myself to care so much. because especially that Rey and Dominik have been feuding for like 2 years, and it's time to end it.
I'd say Rey Mysterio should probably, if they want to get the best out of them, I would say you have Rey Mysterio feud with, let's say, Braun Breaker. You have Rey feud with Ricochet.
Exactly.
If they choose to turn Ricochet into a heel, let's say, if they choose to turn him heel, they've been teasing it, with him wearing a suit, for example.
Yeah.
Talking to Ilya, in the manner that he does. If you turn Ricochet heel, you could have a heel Ricochet feud with Rey Mysterio.
I like that. I love that.
You could have Carlito versus Ilya Dragunov, for example. You have them feud with younger guys.
Yeah. Have Dragon Lee on his own. He did it NXT. Have him on his own feud in the mid card. Maybe face like a Sheamus or a Chad Gable for a Intercontinental Championship. Wonky Wild Cruz del Toro in the tag team division, but they go nowhere on their own. What do you do with them? Do you put them with like Andrade? But then again, you want Andrade's faction feuding with Legado, like LWO and Legado? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Zelina Vega, I think pair back with Andrade.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think. But we get Otis next with Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. We had Gable continuing to berate and belittle Otis, treat him like garbage. We get Otis splashing Reed in the quarter. Otis then calls for his caterpillar, but Gable gets up on the apron and yells at Otis to not do the caterpillar. Reed then super kicks Otis and hits the tsunami for the victory. We then get, after the match, Chad Gable telling Otis he's going to show him discipline. Gable then takes off his belt, and he's about to whip Otis in the back with the belt. And Otis slowly walks over to the ropes. Gable reclaims the Maxine Debris and Tozawa that this is what happens when you bring shame to your family. And then as Gable's about to whip Otis in the back with the belt, Maxine stops Chad Gable, and he grabs Gable's arm before he could swing down Otis with the belt. Gable then berates Dupree and calls her a failure and tells her and Tozawa to leave the ring. Or he kicks her out of the ring, and Gable then tells Tozawa to sit there and watch. So then Sami Zayn's music then hits. He's on his way down to the ring. Sami then checks on Dupree. Sami gets in the ring as Gable tells him to stay out of Alpha Academy's business. Gable then tells Sami to not take another step. Sami then asks Gable what he's going to do about it. Sami then reads Gable for being a weak little man. Gable then tries to hit Otis again. Sami then snatches the belt away. Otis then steps in front of Gable. Sami then asks Otis how much more crap he's going to take from Chad Gable. Says Otis needs to stop listening to Gable and start listening to them, the crowd. Gable then attacks Sami. Sami then takes over. Otis pulls Sami off Chad Gable. Sami then asks Otis what he's doing. Gable surprises Sami with a nasty German suplex. Gable then beats down on Sami. Otis watches as the crowd chants, "Let's go Otis, let's go Otis." They're building sympathy for Otis here, and I like what they're doing here. So you see they're slowly building sympathy for Otis, like they did with Otis and Mandy Rose 4 years ago. And Chad Gable just belittling and just berating.
He's bullying Otis, basically.
Yeah, calling him a disappointment and a failure and a joke. And then calling Maxine Dupree a failure and a Tozawa joke. I'm liking what they're doing here with Chad Gable. I think it's been great.
Yeah.
And I mean, last week Chad Gable got "You Suck" chant shades of the when Kurt Angle was a wrestler in WWE.
Kurt Gable, he's going into the man is basically he's on the brink of insanity.
Yeah, just like Kurt Angle was back in the day in his early WWE.
He's so obsessed with winning the IC title that he's going mad.
Yeah, ever since he's German suplex Sami Zayn in Canada right in front of his wife a few weeks after WrestleMania 40, man. and just going and just like snapping and completely losing it, going insane.
Yeah. He couldn't be good though. He did get to win the IC title in front of his daughter. Yet he sees Sammy, celebrating with his family as the IC champion. And it irks in Gable, and he couldn't do it.
And according to Chad, he was supposed to get that moment instead in Sammy, and Sammy took that opportunity away from him. And then Chad had to take matters into his own hands and make a statement. He's doing just that, and saying that his Alpha Academy, he's like possibly like dropping some dead weight, and he's going to recruit the Creeds, and that's going to be inevitable, and that's going to be great when that happens. Almost like a new Team Angle with Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, Kurt Angle back in the day, which I thought was great. And it's only going to get better here on out with Chad Gable, especially also when he wins the Intercontinental Championship. Guy's going to be one of the top heels on Monday Night Raw. And he's just getting started.
Yeah.
And then Otis in this too, and slowly getting babyface sympathy. What if Chad Gable beats Sami Zayn at Clash of the Castle for the Intercontinental title, which I think they do. You have the Creeds involved. They help Chad win the championship from Sami and Glasgow. And what if Otis is still with Alpha Academy, but he continues to get bullied by Chad? Otis then, like he says he has enough, and he goes on his own. Yes. Now
I think that'll be a great way to go about it. I think Gable. I think he will still be the one. They're building so much.
Yeah.
With Gable, he's lost so many times a shot at the IC title. He did get another shot after he lost to Gunther.
Then he's like, he has enough of Alpha Academy screwing him over.
He lost to Sammy then. And pretty much, that's the straw that broke his back. He did take the pinfall at Saudi. He did not take the losing fall at the Saudi show.
No, that was Bronson Reed.
It was Bronson Reed.
Which I thought would be. And then you got Chad Gable like blaming Alpha Academy for him losing, and blaming Tozawa, blaming Maxine, blaming Otis, and them taking the blame from Chad Gable for him not getting the job done.
I say Gable, he wins the IC title this time though. He wins it by him. He's by himself. He wants no interference from Alpha Academy because he feels Otis cost him the IC title, even though he wanted Otis to interfere. But Gable basically is putting the blame on Otis. He uses him as a scapegoat for his failures of not winning the IC title.
Yeah.
You have Gable, he wins by, he's by himself, but what Otis, Maxine, and Tozawa don't know is that, Gable was working with the Creeds behind their back. And you have the Creeds, help Gable win the IC title.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, and I think that's the direction they go. They have Julius and Brutus Creed help Chad Gable win the Intercontinental title from Sammy at Clash of the Castle, and then you have Ivy Nile involved, and then this leads to Chad still bullying Otis in the new Alpha Academy. Otis then breaks away from the group; he's on his own, and it leads to Otis and Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship in Cleveland this August at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I would not. I could see that, and I would not mind that. And Otis getting his babyface sympathy like he was 4 years ago, like with the story with Dolph Ziggler and Mandy Rose, and Otis trying to get the girl Mandy Rose.
There's mileage in an Otis versus Gable match,
and they're real life, and they're real life best friends too. Otis and Chad Gable.
You could book them in a singles match for the IC title.
Yeah.
Maybe Otis doesn't win the IC title. Otis, he doesn't win the IC title, basically. Gable needs, Chad deserves a longer with the IC belt, but Otis, you can book him in a way, where you believe that he has a shot at winning the IC belt, and he comes close, but he fails.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it gets
it establishes Team Gable. You establish them, you make them credible. Make Chad Gable a credible heel.
Yeah, and this is almost similar with Otis getting babyface reactions from the crowd. It's not like it, but it's almost similar to when Adam Carl, they're taking another break. That's fine. So while he's back, we might as well discuss. So not like this, but almost like it with Otis getting babyface sympathy reactions. Almost like when Daniel Bryan in 2014, early 2014, was with the Wyatt family, and that was that Raw episode. It was a few weeks before the 2014 Royal Rumble. That was that main event Raw Tornado Tag Team Steel Cage match with the Usos versus Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan, and the Usos won the match by escaping the cage. And where Bryan and Bray lost to the Usos, Bray told Bryan to take the sister Abigail, and Bryan refused to take it. When Bray was about to hit the sister Abigail, Bryan fought out of it, and where Bryan just beat the crap out of Bray, and like he just beat the shit out of Bray, drop kicked in the corner, shed the Wyatt family jumpsuit to Daniel Bryan, had the fans in unison with the yes chant, taking out Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and that was one of the greatest moments in Raw history where like Daniel Bryan shed the Wyatt jumpsuit and left the Wyatt family. That was like 2 weeks before the 2014 Royal Rumble, where Bryan was really over with the yes movement, and the WWE tried to hold him down by putting him in the Wyatts, and the fans had zero of it. And Bryan had everyone doing yes when he was doing the running knee to Bray. Then before that, the yes kicks and throwing Bray into the side of the cage, taking out Luke Harper, Eric Rowan when they were trying to get in the cage. Incredible moment. One of the greatest moments in WWE and in Raw history, that moment. And I see Otis and Chad Gable with Otis almost like that with Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. When Bryan joined the Wyatts, then he quit. A few weeks before the 2014 Royal Rumble in Pittsburgh. I remember that very well. And I was a senior in high school at the time. I remember it so well. But Bryan had everyone doing yes. Then he got in the cop cage, did yes chants.
I don't know if you would compare it to Otis. You don't want to put pressure on Otis. To have a similar moment like that. He's not going to get a moment close to that, but you could get something similar to it. And and the crowd, they cheer loudly when he finally gets his hands on Gable.
Yeah.
And Gable is in disbelief. Why would you do this? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the story's been really well written.
And Chad Gable is up in Otis's face, and Otis just snaps and he beats the shit out of Chad Gable, just destroys him.
Yeah.
And it leads to Otis getting a big babyface reaction. So I could see that. And I would not mind that whatsoever for SummerSlam. We then get the there was another segment before we talk about the main event, the cage match for the women's world title last night on Raw. There was, and I have to bring this up, bro, the Awesome Truth in a backstage skit with an ice cream truck. I had to do it, man. I know.
The Miz. Oh, no.
The Miz, he's awesome. I know you love the Miz and the Awesome Truth. They were in a backstage.
You give this man the World Tag Team titles, and he's having segments in catering. This is your World Tag Team Champions, and they're having segments where they're giving out pizza.
Or ice cream. Ice cream.
Yeah, they're giving ice cream. Yeah, these are your tag team champions. You give them. He's handing out ice creams. Not that. Of course, I would love me some ice creams.
Yeah,
I love me some ice creams. But these are your tag team champions.
Who doesn't love ice cream?
But these are your tag team champions, and you're having them in a segment where we're giving out ice creams.
But the Miz is awesome.
Awesome at what exactly?
He's the
Our Truth makes better ice creams than he does.
He's a World Tag Team Champion. He's the awesome one, the A-lister.
Our Truth makes better ice creams than the Miz. Well, hopefully Miz, maybe Miz makes good ice cream.
And this guy right here, I know he loves the Miz, and he calls the Miz, he wrongfully calls him Cockroach. He's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Our Truth is the best part of the team. The Miz is a supporting cast.
But he's not Cockroach.
He's everywhere. He shows up. He does his job. He shows up every week. Gets as many segments as he gets. in all seriousness, though, I don't really hate The Miz. I've actually, praised his work for like, in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So this is all just jokes. I don't actually hate him.
Yeah.
But he's there every week. He's there on the show. He basically has unlimited resiliency.
And I know you sent this to me during Raw last night when the Miz and R-Truth in the ice cream truck segment, and you're like, no.
I would say though, why are they not putting him in a program? Basically, you could do much basically with Miz and Truth as tag team champions. You could do so much with them.
You could. I mean, this comedy skits, it's got to go with them and more in ring with them, and also with better teams at division, New Catch Republic, AOP, and shit like that. I think it's the World Tag Team titles are better off on teams like them. I mean, Awesome Truth had their moment at WrestleMania. I think it's time to take the titles off them.
I mean, they don't necessarily need to have a long reign, but like just give them like challengers. I mean, Miz and Truth, like they're pretty capable wrestlers.
Yeah,
Miz can go in the ring. Truth is very good. Just give them challengers at least.
Maybe give them Dominik and JD McDonough when Dominik is cleared to wrestle again because he's currently hurt.
Maybe have Miz and Truth go up against AOP and New Catch Republic. Have them go against these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe build up the Creeds. If you build up the Creeds to maybe potentially take the titles off of Awesome Truth.
Maybe they're the ones to take the titles off Awesome Truth. Maybe they're the ones to take the titles off Awesome Truth. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. In fact, I think it may be the best thing for the Creeds after they're paired with Chad Gable. You don't want to do it right now. You got to pair them with Chad Gable first and build them up. But we then get the main event, steel cage match for the Women's World Championship, Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. I don't know what you thought of the match, but the ending was not good. Braun Strowman, almost like comedy, just running after Judgment Day. He runs Dominik into the cage where Becky's trying to escape, and just Becky gets face first into the cage and allowing Liv Morgan to escape. I thought the ending of that show, of that match, was trash.
The match was really it wasn't good. They had too many commercial breaks in the match, and the focus wasn't even on Becky and Liv.
No, not at all. It was on the Judgment Day and Braun Strowman. That had more of a focus than the match. And
hypothetically speaking,
this was not a good match. This is
the last match of Becky Lynch's contract. One of their greatest performances that this company has ever had. Not just women's wrestlers, just wrestlers in general in the company. This is her last match in WWE off her current contract for now, at least. She's not going anywhere, of course, but hypothetically, if she's leaving after this is her last match of her current contract. And the focus is not even, you're not building up, the fact that this may be her last night in the company, or this could be her last match, or, she needs to win the championship to stay. No. Instead, you have match, have like 2 commercial breaks. The match went like 5 minutes. Nothing of substance. You have 2 commercial breaks. One of them was like before the match even begun. And the focus was on JD McDonough, Finn Balor, and Braun Strowman. He's running fast. He's chasing them. He's running fast. His gas was so unlimited. The Strowman Express. He's very good. I mean, we appreciate him. We appreciate Strowman, of course. But he's so unlimited. His gas. He's very unlimited. The Strowman Express. And the focus, and you're not even focusing on the people in the ring. You're focusing on the people who are not even in the match. What is this? It's so dumb.
With 2 commercial breaks makes me very I can't wait for Raw to go to Netflix next year. This is why I can't wait for them to go to Netflix.
Surely this is not how Becky goes out. This is not the way she should go out. Absolutely not. There's no way.
Becky Lynch, you think she's not the one that says, if it's my last match, I'm going to go out on a high note? This was not it. Surely she resigns.
She will, if she hasn't already.
I mean, this was not like Edge and Sheamus last August, where that was Edge's best, showing a big go out. Same thing with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan's last WWE match before he went to AEW 3 years ago. No, this is not that with Becky Lynch, either of those two at all. I really think Becky Lynch, if she was her last WWE match, she'd want to go out on a high note, and this was not it. I really do think Becky Lynch signs a new deal, and WWE gives her whatever she wants. I cannot see her going to AEW, and AEW doesn't really need her. They have way too many roster members to begin with. They don't need to add another former WWE star on top of former WWE star, top of former WWE star in AEW.
Actually,
a lot of former WWE stars in AEW. They don't need to add more. What?
I've seen an IG post, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. What's that? Yeah, hang on.
Instagram post, huh?
I actually saw an Instagram post from Becky. You know, she wishes Seth Rollins happy birthday. Happy birthday to Seth Rollins. Happy birthday to him. Hope he's recovering very well from his injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
I can't wait for him to come back. Love Seth Rollins, dude. And the last word that she said on her IG post, she said, "I'm coming home." This is the last word she said. You know, she said to say, you know, in a happy birthday to Seth. Happy birthday to my best friend, the best dad, the best husband, the best human. I love you. And a heart emoji. And then the last word, if you see it, you know, take way down. She said, "I'm coming home."
There's no way she goes to AEW.
Basically, she's basically confirming that she's staying in the company. Basically, it's basically confirmation that she's gonna stay, and she's just gonna take time off.
Yeah, she'll sign a new deal. WWE will give her whatever she wants, whatever money she asks, they'll give to her. They'll pay her. She's not going anywhere. She's not going to Tony Khan. If you really think she's going to Tony Khan, I think you're crazy. She's not going there. And what difference would she make in AEW? Look at what they've done to Mercedes Moné. Would Becky Lynch make a lick of a difference in AEW in their women's division? No. No.
She has it easy in WWE too. She has it easy there. Her husband works there. She has a child. Her child is actually going to start school very soon. When she's actually, fun fact, Roos is actually going to start school from what I'm seeing and what I'm saying. She's going to start school full time, and I'm sure she wants to spend more time with her. She's been on the road. She's basically, she's been on the road with her daughter. Basically, every show she goes, her daughter's with her, and her husband is with her.
Yeah.
It has to be mentally draining, though, because, you work every show, you work every house show, PLEs, Raws. She's probably wants to spend time with her family more.
Yeah.
I mean, she deserves a break.
I mean, Becky Lynch has done everything in WWE. There's nothing left for her to do there. And I do think she ends up staying. What if she wants to be part-time and have a big money WWE contract to spend more time with her daughter? Maybe she wants to have a second kid.
Yeah, I'm sure she wants to spend more time with her family, I think. It has to be mentally draining, though, when you work every PLE, Raw, SmackDown, house shows. You work on the road. You're on the road 365 days a year, nonstop. It has to be, a drain on their mental state. Not that they'll go insane, of course. Not that they'll go crazy and go roid raging.
No.
But it has to be. You have to be mentally driven. You want to take a rest. You want to take a break.
Yeah, but the people saying she's all elite, she's gonna go to Tony Khan.
You don't want to get tired. You don't want to break your body down. You want to be at 100%. You want to be at your 100%.
Exactly. But the people saying she's going to be all elite and that she's going to AEW.
I am very sure. I'm sure they're going to give her whatever she wants. If anything, my prediction is that she'll get the biggest contract of any women's wrestler in wrestling history. She's probably going to.
I mean, they've locked down Charlotte. They've locked down Bayley.
I said it before. I said it once. If they were willing to offer Mercedes a huge money contract, they're going to give Becky double that money, maybe triple.
And remember when it was said late last year? I think wasn't it Sapp or somebody else? Oh, Triple H and WWE didn't want to pay
the highest paid
Mercedes.
wrestlers ever. She'll be one of the highest paid wrestlers in company history. She'll be the highest paid women's wrestler of all time. She deserves it. She's worth every penny.
And look at the work she's put in, like the workhorse, being the workhorse and consistent. She deserves all the money in the world.
She basically helped get NXT the CW contract. She got her segments and matches on NXT got 1 million viewers and helped them get a TV deal.
Got Tiffany Stratton over to the point where it's like, yeah, Tiffany Stratton should be on the main roster. Look where she is now on SmackDown, killing it.
Absolutely. Lyra Valkyria is now, she's getting over on the main roster thanks to Becky.
Yeah. Even dropped the NXT Women's title to Lyra Valkyria at Halloween Havoc last October. Now Lyra's on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, she's the biggest stars in the company. She headlined WrestleMania, won the Rumble, won the Chamber.
Yeah.
She's been one of the. She helped contribute to the growth of the women's division.
Yeah, with her, Charlotte and Sasha in the summer of 2015 in July when they got called up from NXT.
Yeah, and she basically helped steady the ship when Rhea got injured.
Yeah, when Rhea got hurt, and when Rhea got hurt. Yeah, when Rhea got hurt, Becky, they called her in, and Becky was not supposed to be on TV right now. But unfortunately, Rhea Ripley got injured. She's out for God knows how long. We don't know how long she's going to be out.
Yeah, and they gave her the championship. She helped steady the division.
Yeah,
and helped put over Liv Morgan strong. She put over Liv twice in 2 days.
Yeah, Becky Lynch deserves every fucking penny, and Triple H and Dwayne Johnson and Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, they will give that woman Becky Lynch whatever the fuck she wants. There's no questions asked about that. They're not gonna. And Triple H is not gonna let Becky walk right to Tony Khan. Oh well, Tony Khan has an unlimited bank account and he's throwing money and he throws money at everybody and it's a lighter schedule. Yeah, the schedule might be lighter in AEW once a week and it's more money, but you know what I've learned over the past years? Money is good and important, but it's not everything. At some point,
I would say maybe. I mean, I could see, maybe having conversations. Maybe, Becky, she goes the Randy Orton route and the KO route.
Or the Edge route. Edge in late 2019. Remember to use Tony Khan for leverage?
Yeah. Yeah, Randy Orton, I mean, they were always, the Orton, Edge, KO. They were going to get paid big money by Vince. When he was still there, they were going to get paid huge money, but they used Tony Khan to get a better deal for themselves.
Yeah.
Now, whatever big money they were going to get, they got they got an even better one that they would have got from WWE, and I think Becky will do the same thing that they did.
Yeah, especially Edge, where he then told Vince, "I went to Tony Khan," and Vince is like, no, Edge, you're not going to Tony Khan, you're not going to AEW, you're coming to WWE in the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble, pal."
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's a good thing. Get the best deal you want. It's a good thing. Get the best deal that you want.
I'd do that.
Get the bigger money that you want.
Exactly. And some people I know, that Triple H didn't want to pay Sasha. I don't think he wants to pay Becky. He didn't want to pay Mercedes. That was the old administration WWE. That was Johnny Ace. That was Vince McMahon. That was not Triple H. And when Triple H took over from Vince, at that point, it was too late to get Sasha back. She was already in negotiations with Tony Khan.
She was probably already signed. She was already signed by Tony Khan.
I don't think Triple H you really think Triple H wanted to let her go or wants to let her go, let Sasha go? And you really think Triple H wants to let Becky Lynch go too? He's not going to let Becky Lynch walk right to Tony Khan. No fucking way. And if Becky Lynch were to go to AEW, it wouldn't change a damn thing in AEW. In fact, it may be worse for Becky in AEW because there are a lot of
fit in a way. She doesn't fit the company in a way.
No. Who would you wrestle?
This is not basically the same.
Like who would you wrestle in AEW? Tony Storm or Serena Deeb or?
Of course. I mean, this is not the hate, of course. I mean, we don't hate AEW here.
No. Though AEW is ice cold, we do love AEW. I mean, we love AEW, but we love AEW, but they are ice cold. They are ice cold right now, but that's a conversation for another day.
I would say it's best for everyone, basically, if Becky stays where she's at.
Yeah. And
it's
the
basically
two men
about fitting in, basically, in a way. It's about, as well, another thing, it's about fitting in. She doesn't fit AEW.
No.
She fits WWE more. It's basically
Exactly.
it's basically her home. It's basically her home. Why leave something comfortable for something else?
And it's
Sometimes,
better
basically,
when someone resigns with another place, so the other part of the couple resigns with the same place the other one resigned with, instead of two different separate companies. Like Becky Lynch taking her daughter away from her father, like the daughter's father, Seth. Like, does Becky really want to do that? I can't picture it.
No, she's not going to do that.
Yeah, Becky's not going anywhere.
I don't think so.
She's pretty much a lifer at this point. She's pretty much a WWE lifer at this point, is Becky Lynch. And it's even said, I think, from PW Torch as well, says Becky Lynch is taking a hiatus and has told people in WWE she's not going to AEW imminently, according to Wade Keller at PWTorch.com as well. She's not going anywhere. Again, she's not going anywhere. Becky Lynch is pretty much staying with WWE.
I don't think she's going anywhere. I think more than likely she goes the Randy route. She uses Tony.
Yeah.
If anything, I see her going the Randy route. She's gonna use Tony Khan to get a bigger deal from WWE, and it's a good thing. Use somebody to get the deal you want. You want the best deal you want. You want what's best for you. I mean, she stays, but Absolutely. For them, and they'll pay her, and WWE that is, they'll pay her what she wants because she deserves it.
Yeah. But we then have.
She deserves a break, though. Basically, I mean, she's deserves a break. I mean, she's helped carrying that division for years. She deserves a rest and deserves more time with her family. Yeah,
it's definitely deserves more time with her family and her daughter. Also, time for new women to be created to new stars and new blood in the Raw Women's division. Hence, Lyra Valkyria, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Asuka when she gets back, and Rhea Ripley when she's back. So, we get Liv Morgan retaining. She's still the Women's World Champion. We have Liv Morgan and Dominik then having a stare down on the ramp. Liv Morgan then kisses Dominik, laughs and walks away. This was actually cut from the live show, which is bullshit. USA Network caught right at 11. They didn't even show this on the program live. I can't wait for Raw to go into Netflix. Like, what the fuck was that? Imagine being USA Network and you want to cut right off 11 and not even show that. We got to end the show right away. As Dwayne Johnson would say when he beat down Cody Rhodes right before WrestleMania this year, where the production crew told Dwayne Johnson, the final boss, Dwayne, we got to go off the air. The show's over. Just like Dwayne would say, fuck that.
I will say, Dominik is living everyone's dreams. Just saying.
Yes.
He's living everyone's dreams.
Liv Morgan over Rhea Ripley, though?
He got both Rhea and Liv Morgan.
You can only choose one, though. And I'll tell you something.
He's a winner. He's got that Latino heat in him. He's a winner.
Well, I can tell you one fact of the matter. Rhea Ripley, mommy, she's not going to be too happy when she sees this when she comes back. I can assure you. Rhea is not going to be a happy camper. And I can see Rhea when she comes back and she sees that she's not happy about this at all. And I think this is how Rhea gets kicked out of Judgment Day when she comes back. And Dominik turns on Rhea, and Rhea gets kicked out of Judgment Day. And Rhea's the biggest baby face in the Raw Women's division. And Rhea is so over, too. She's not even booed anymore. She's over. So when Rhea comes back, it's going to be a great thing to see as well. And I think when Rhea comes back, she will take the title from Liv. And there's a reason Liv Morgan's a heel right now, and I think it fits her a little better. She wasn't really going anywhere as a babyface. But she has this revenge tour as well. So this is fun where they're going with this. And Rhea's going to be a bigger babyface when she comes back, which is going to be great. So I know what they're doing here, and I think, and I mean, it's not bad at all. But I'm looking forward when Rhea comes back and takes back the championship, because she was supposed to be on a. I'm sure Triple H was going to have Rhea Ripley on a Gunther-like title reign with the women's world title and hold it, and Rhea going into next year's WrestleMania in Las Vegas as women's world champion. I'm sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Basically, I don't think she would have been that champion for that. I think the plan was basically for Liv to dethrone Rhea.
Really?
I'm sure that the plan was for Liv to dethrone Rhea, because the story, she wants to take everything from Rhea Ripley. She basically she's gonna take her title. She's gonna take her faction. She's gonna take Dominik. She's gonna take everything that Rhea loves.
Yeah.
I think this is the direction that we're gonna go with after WrestleMania. Have Liv, get her win back over Rhea Ripley. She finally beats Rhea. She wins the championship. But then the injury and all of that. I would say though the pivot, as sad as it is that Rhea got injured, as sad as it was, and as how very as how detrimental it was to the division, that Rhea isn't there. The way basically they're handling the situations with her injury has been top notch.
Yeah,
with no Rhea Ripley in sight, Judgment Day is pretty much crumbling.
Yeah, with her not there, Judgment Day
is crumbling without Rhea. Liv Morgan, she's the champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Judgment Day crumbling. Liv Morgan now is the champion, and she gets Dominik. And Rhea can do nothing about it because she's injured.
But when she gets back,
the storytelling there is fantastic, I would say.
Yeah. This is something AEW should have, not just wrestling, but more good stories like we're seeing.
Yeah, so and so when Rhea comes back, the anticipation is there. If she wants her revenge on Liv for what happened after WrestleMania, for injuring her.
That gives Rhea a reason too.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have Rhea and Liv, and Rhea's rematch. Liv beats her, but Rhea gets screwed by Dominik in Judgment Day. That's where they kick Rhea out completely out of Judgment Day. And then you have Rhea asking Pierce for a rematch, and then we get Rhea and Liv maybe at SummerSlam if Rhea's cleared in time by SummerSlam, and Rhea just destroys Liv, devours Liv for the world title, like beats her in seconds.
Well, not seconds. You're not
not seconds.
You're not gonna do Liv Morgan's character like that. Maybe a no holds barred match I could see. A no holds barred match between both women, because Rhea is gonna want to beat the shit out of Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And Liv, same thing with Liv. She wants to beat the shit out of Rhea Ripley.
And that's where you have Rhea.
I'd say if Rhea comes back, that's your SummerSlam match for the women's title.
Yeah, if Rhea gets cleared in time by SummerSlam.
I'd say to either SummerSlam or basically somewhere, in maybe the fall. Yeah, I'd say SummerSlam or basically, the fall. If Rhea isn't back by SummerSlam, she's basically, September or between September and November of this year. You could have Rhea versus Liv.
You could do that.
And Red is where you have Rhea get her title back.
Yeah, and either way, when Rhea comes back, Rhea Ripley is getting her championship back. But
the story it's building up.
Yeah,
we're getting to where the way they're going about it is been incredible.
I agree. And that was with the Raw show last night. It was okay. They forwarded some stories, but it could have been better. Like the Chad Gable stuff, the Judgment Day with Rhea.
It's not the worst show in the world.
No.
It wasn't the worst show in the world. Far from it. I'd say think some things could have been better. Matches. The Creeds and the AOP. They could have had a longer time with it. Give them some time. But I would say it was more story-driven show.
Yeah.
What they lacked in time in matches, they made up for it, in storytelling.
Yeah. And I think they also announced Damian Priest, and they also announced a few matches next week. One of them being the New Day versus the Authors of Pain, and also Damian Priest in a non-title match versus Rey Mysterio.
I think 3 matches was announced. 3
matches. Yes, the third one too. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the third
what's nice. Basically, it's nice. You're hyping up next week's show. You let the viewers know what's gonna happen. Next week after you've done with with the show that you were doing. You let them know what's gonna happen on the next show.
Yes. But all in all, overall, I thought this show Raw last night it could have been a lot better.
I don't think there was more good. There was more good that you can enjoy. There was nothing overly bad. I say there were more good. There was nothing like overly bad. Just things. Slight tweaks. And this this would have been a very good show.
Yeah, and they did forward some stories, so they have some stuff going on, and I'm sure it's going to pick up next week.
Yeah, there's some exciting stuff,
and they'll definitely pick up next week on Raw. Next week.
Yeah, it's your.
So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that is that, folks, for the Monday Night Raw review from last night's Raw, May 27th of 2024, yesterday on actually Memorial Day. So this is also a holiday, too, last night. So another thing. Some people may not be watching the show, but it wasn't the worst show last night. What?
Happy holidays.
Yes, with Memorial Day yesterday, but folks, please hit the like on this video. If you haven't done so, it would be absolutely greatly appreciated, and I appreciate every single one of you. And also, not just like the video, I want you guys to please subscribe to Furious Nation and hit the bell for all notifications when you do subscribe to Furious Nation, as well, as I'd love to at least 150 to 175 subscribers by the end of this year. On Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579, Instagram Nicholas Fiore 2014, and Nicholas Fiore 31 over on Facebook. You can also follow Adam Carl on Facebook, Instagram, X as well. Links in the description post this live video. And Adam, any other words before we get the hell out of here? Is he frozen? Uh-oh. Well, something happened to Adam Carl. Uh-oh. I don't know. Something happened to Adam Carl on his side with bad internet connection. But anyways, I'm Nick Fiore. Sorry about that little thing. I don't know what happened on Adam Carl's side. Maybe a bad internet connection, but something clunky happened. But I'm Nick Fiore. Apologize for that little thing there. I'm Nick Fiore of Furious Nation. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today for the Raw review from Monday Night Raw last night on Memorial Day, Raw last night. And I will see you guys later on. Like I said earlier in the video, King and Queen of the Ring PLE review sometime tonight. Seeing someone today, a good friend of mine today. So you could, he might be on my show for that video later on tonight. So it's possible. So just look out for that. And I hope you guys have a happy Tuesday. Oh, he's back.
Sorry,
there he is.
Sorry, my connection. Sorry.
Yeah, no need to apologize. It's the age of technology. So yeah, it was again a technical thing. So as I was saying, Adam, what are your words to say before we get the hell out of here?
You could follow me on Twitter, X. I prefer calling it Twitter, and Instagram at AdamCarl2005. Same thing with Facebook at AdamCarl2005.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody has a fantastic day.
And I will see
mentally,
you guys.
physically, emotionally.
Yes.
Mentally, physically, emotionally. I hope everybody has doing it.
And especially what Adam's
take care, stay strong,
yes.
stay safe, be motivated. Things will work out for you.
And I'm happy to see you back, Adam, here on the channel. An exclusive as a Raw co-host here in my channel. I'm very happy to see him back. And my friend, I wish you very good luck with your other exams and stuff. And
it was good. It was good doing it with you again. I'll be doing more. It was good doing this with you.
And the stuff he's gone through lately, and appreciate you hearing him. Have my support and all the way. And so glad to have you back on the channel. And hope you take care of yourself, buddy, and my good friend. Later. Yeah, and happy Tuesday. And I will see you later on here tonight with another good friend of mine. Hopefully, possibly, hopefully, for the King and Queen of the Ring PL review later on tonight. So look out for that. And I hope you guys enjoy your Tuesdays. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace.